All right, so once you have all three of your images placed together, um, you are going to draw in to your areas. So I have three or four actually on here, and you need at least three, and one needs to be actually drawn and then scanned in. So it can't just be like my three that I have here. One has to be like this. Now, if you want to do that in Photoshop and draw with a tablet, you can do that. I am all right with that. I will talk to you a little bit about that a little bit later. But what I did is I projected it on my screen, got a piece of paper out, and actually drew that. And then I scanned it in, which was actually super easy. And then I imported it in like this. Then I just selected all and copied. And then I pasted it in. And then obviously I had to resize it. The trick I used was multiply, so that way I could see through it, and then I just rotated it around. I Command T, which is free transform, and then I rotated it around. I held Shift when I resized, and then I placed it. It wasn't dark enough for me. I did not actually like it was too light at the time, so actually this is actually 2 or 3 layers with multiply over top of it, so that way it was darker. You could also go in and do a layer adjustment right here and work on um, the black and white, or you can do the levels or curves or exposure. So whichever you would prefer, you could do. What else I did is I took this area right here and I made it a drawing. So all I did was use the rectangular marquee tool. I selected that and then I copied it, and then I went to File New, and when you do File New, it will automatically do the size of your copied thing. So then you just press OK, and then you will get something like this. Then I just went up to my filters, went into my filter gallery, and then I picked cross hatching, or I picked a sketching one. I did use like the charcoal one, which your colors need to be defaulted to black on top. Black needs to be on top to do charcoal. So I went in and I did the filter gallery, and I chose something. You could do crosshatch, you could do angled strokes. Artistic in here, the colored pencil one works really well, dry brush, foam grain. Something that's going to look fairly realistic. And then I just selected all and copied and pasted it back in. And as long as your rectangular marquee tool is still here, it will paste it right into place. So then I did a layer mask right here. I did a layer mask, so I picked this, and then I chose a brush that was artistic, that was more like that or this down at the bottom, and then I erased the edges so it looked torn, and then I didn't like her face, not being able to see her face so well, so I actually got rid of the layer on her face as well. Now this part was a little trickier. I didn't know exactly what I want. I knew the effect I wanted, but I didn't know exactly how I was going to get it. So I'm going to hide this real quick, and I'm just going to click on this layer, and I'm going to create a new layer. And I picked a brush that I wanted to look like a realistic brush, and then I just drew, and it was easier. It's easier. I actually used my tablet, so it felt more like that. So it felt more realistic. Using your mouse doesn't really work for this if you want to get a true effect. Okay, so I have this brush in here, like so. I'm going to move it over because I want it over like this. And then how I selected that area is I just command click on layer 9. So I hit command and then I actually click on the layer and you get that selected. And then I clicked on my background and I copied. I went to File New, pressed OK, pasted that in, and then I did a filter on that as well. So I went into Filter Gallery, and you could, I wanted to do something that really stood out, whereas these really didn't stand out for me. Press OK, select all again, copy, paste that bad boy in, hide this layer, and there you go. So now I have 2 of them on there that swish out if I want to. I did do some drop shadows on my layers, so it looked like they were actually torn pieces of paper and they were popping out at me. You could add your hand in there like Behind does. There's a lot of different things you can do. I just wanted you to make it look very collaged, very realistic. I want you to have fun with it. And then when you're all done, you can flatten it, save it as a JPEG, and hand it in.